Listen, we're just a couple of thugs and we're sucking down drugs. We couldn't give two fucks what you think of us. We're drinking your beer and we're a little bit queer. You better watch out. Whiskey and Speed is here, completely professional, so completely professional. We're perfectly practiced, proficient, adept, learned, licensed and on the ball. Slick.
We are Whiskey and Speed is here. We are completely professional, completely professional, completely professional.
Beautifully disgusting insanity.
Completely professional, completely professional. Whoa, completely professional. So completely professional.
Whiskey and Speed fucking suck. Ha! Dean's a fucking MRA. Like, what the fuck? Fucking Ben's moving to fucking Canada. Loki's got a beard, and that's a crime in and of itself. And Shay, I'm not even sure if Shay can actually grow a beard.
You know, I think we honestly hated them at first when we heard it. We thought it was just like crazy, weird noise, and then, you know, the more you listen to it, the more awesome it is.
Forced them to be uncomfortable until they're comfortable with being uncomfortable.
Thank you all for coming!
Oh, Dane, Dane is one of my favorite people in the world. To be honest with you, I love that guy. I really do. You know, he's awesome. He's definitely at least two people crammed into one person. And as much as I love Dane, which is a lot, I can see why it is that there's just so many people out there that can't fucking stand him.
Do a serious level, we're taking rock and roll. Do a serious level, we're taking rock and roll. Do a serious level.
Ben's extremely good at promoting the sense of community in punk music and, you know, local Brisbane music. You know, he's really great at bringing people together, making everyone feel included, involved, appreciated, stuff like that.
If I'm drunk and there's someone willing,
who's king?
What do you do later?
Oh no.
I struggle to know where to even begin with Loki.
Yeah, just the other three dudes, Loki, Day and Ben, fuck you fucking cunts. Fuck you.
Don't go to Whiskey and Speed if you don't want blood on your corset.
This dickhead's family.
Is Dane your dad? Who fucking knows?
Dane seems to hurt himself quite a bit.
There are just feet flying and you know, a whir of bodies, and half the time it's the band members.
What I love most is that time that Trey fucking fisted me in an alley.
Whiskey and Speed, you can't put them down to one genre. You really can't.
Musically, they're grunge, but attitude-wise, they really go in the punk category.
Punk rock to me, or like just punk in general, has never been a musical thing. It's always been an attitude. That's why like people always like if you go, oh, like real punk, and they're like, oh, like the Sex Pistols, like, well, they got very famous at being very messy, but you know, like, but if you look at the bands at the same time, you got the Buzzcocks and the Clash and stuff like that, they don't sound anything alike. And they don't, and like, if you were to go, like, if you were just picking a sound for punk rock, then the Buzzcocks and the Clash don't fall into that. Like, musically, they don't sound anything like the Ramones, they don't sound anything like the Damned. You know, like, and then later on, they don't sound like Dead Kennedys don't sound like that, and you know, the Misfits don't sound like that. And like, then the Misfits don't sound like the Dead Kennedys. Dead Kennedys don't sound like Black Flag. Like, you know, it's not a sound, it's an attitude, and the attitude for me was that anything goes.
To me, like, I've never actually considered myself a punk. I think it's definitely like an attitude and a lifestyle thing. You either are or you aren't type thing, and you don't have to play punk music to be punk. And it was definitely a band that felt punk, even though it didn't necessarily sound it.
You look at culture as this endless field, and every now and then you sink a shaft down into the fertile soil and you kind of look at what's in that pothole. And then you go, well, that's really interesting, now what? And then you go and look to sink another pothole. And I think really you can do that with punk because there has been so much that has come before what is happening right now. And there will continue to be so because punk is something that will never die.
Reject depression, that's about it. So it's more inclusive. It's like angry hippies to me.
That was like what made me appeal to like Whiskey and Speed heaps, was the fucking craziness of it. Like I've seen them do some crazy shit.
Punk culture is very honest in how it presents itself. It is destructive and rebellious, and in times it can be self-destructive in ways, but it's very upfront about that.
Everyone you've met like contributed to like making you happy at the end of it. That's rad.
Thinking for yourself. Basically living the life you want to live.
It's all about the audience. It's about getting off the audience. So you have to get into the audience to get them off.
I turtle with no shell, it does not do so well, but it's just another 4 hours instead of
Say hi, how are you? You know, not like, you know, fucking put your shit over there and, you know, fucking behave yourselves, don't play this, don't do this. It's like, mate, just don't be a dick. Don't be a dick to us. We will try not to be a dick to you. I can't speak for Dane.
Hey man, like, did you put your tax in? I'm like, yeah, for the first time in 34 years.
You're always asking for help. You're always asking for help. You're always asking for help. But you have yourself. And you can cry to me. And you can cry to me. You can cry to me. But I can fucking see you're on a chemical trap. You're on a chemical trap. You're on a chemical trap. And you're about to sell. So now you're selling your toys. Now you're selling your toys. Now you're selling your toys. Of your little boy. Fuck me over. You know it's always gonna fuck me over. Yeah. You know it's always gonna fuck me over.
We're not like other bands, we're like, we're the most rock fucking thing ever, like being all Manowar about it, but no, we're like, yeah, we're pretty rock. I thought that was funny. And so that was all like, I think my best line with that was like, more violent, pissed off, loud and drunk, more metal than metal, and punker than punk. That was it. No time to rest, we'll do it to excess. We spew rock and roll puke and make a rock and roll mess.
She's got a baby inside. She's got a baby inside. The charming guy. She says he's losing control. Says he's losing control. Says he's losing control. It's all alone. Fuck me over. You know it's always gonna fuck me over. Yeah. You know it's always.
And Dane said it's in the documentary already, but he said something to me which was the greatest thing anyone's ever said to me. He said, rock and roll, being a rock and roll band, rock and roll is like a loophole in society that lets you do whatever you want, and he was fucking onto some shit, man. Clicked onto it, switched on. That was what's up. Rock and roll is the answer. It is the only thing that will save us as a species.
There's something that is universal and timeless about 3-chord stomping rock, caveman rhythms and snottiness and a fuck you attitude.
There's something about drums and loud guitars and yelling that the neighbours don't really like, and neither do the coppers when they rock up. And we like to avoid the coppers.
5 years ago I saw him at the 199, it was a 4-late show like this one. And I was in, I guess, a bit hard to say, but I was in a very rough part of my life. I grew up in like a abusive house and stuff like that, and fucking hated everything and shit. And after I met him, dude, I found, I guess, an outlet to vent my anger without, like, you know, lashing out at people and shit.
We snuck into the launch of the new Dumb Idea, and that was the first time I'd seen them, but I'd already listened to the album before that, I think, or if not that, Sponge, and had like all the singles on YouTube and stuff. So I already kind of had an idea of what I was in for before I actually got to see him play, because we were so underage. We missed all their first couple shows when we knew them. And so then we snuck into this one. It was just one of the most mental experiences of my entire life.
It's hard to find a band who are so good at extending that energy to the audience. And I think that's what Whiskey and Speed are really good, is even if you're just standing up the back and watching them, somehow you still feel like involved with everything that's going on around you. It's cool.
The true believers don't give a shit about this artificial distinction between band and audience. It was splitting the milk and the cream. Between stage and floor, it was splitting the milk and the cream. And so the great punk bands deliberately blur that distinction.
Yes, and anyone who wants to get up and sing it with us, just jump over this fucking thing and come and sing with us. It's that fucking simple.
My mate Chevy's band Hack were playing a show with Whiskey and Speed that night, and he knew I loved Whiskey and Speed for fucking like ages, but had never gotten to see them live. And they were going to play, and he called up his guitar player Simon, and he's like, "Don't let Whiskey and Speed play. It's Jakey's 18th birthday, and it's his, like, you know, he's going out and like he wants to see Whiskey and Speed. That's all he wants for his 18th birthday. Don't let him play it." So Simon like stalled him, like didn't let him play until like I got there and shit, and I finally got to see him play for the first time, and it was the most fucking craziest thing I'd ever seen.
Growing up and getting to watch those guys, you know, there was always something absolutely ridiculous that happened. Something got broken or someone got hurt or something. You know, you can just be that wild, and like, you know, if you have the right energy about you and your band, and that's people, you know, everyone else is going to get it too, and everyone else is going to love it.
On my very first gig, there was the 199 where they literally brought the roof down, and there was pineapples being thrown at people.
And like leant over the back of his back like folded over the top of all these different glasses and stuff. I think a few of them fucking broke. I don't know how he didn't like get stabbed. And he's just leaning over, and it's like, you know, when someone like lays on a bed of nails, that's the best way I can explain it, like for the physics of how like it must have worked, like, and it was just fucking insane. And they broke so much stuff that night, and like they kicked him out and they stopped him from playing, and like everyone, no one was enjoying it. No one was enjoying it except for me. I was like just sitting there like fucking headbanging.
The fact that you're getting away with stuff, and then you can turn to the guy who's just committed such mischief with you and go, "That was pretty funny, wasn't it?"
That is funny. It's still really funny. That is funny. It's still really funny.
Fucking deck you for being pieces of shit. Fuck, I love Whiskey and Speed.
Getting into all sorts of mischief and strife, and no one died, it's fine.
Ben legitimately, medically almost died. He had to have an ambulance called, and there was very real concern for his well-being.
You're looking for a sort of extreme feeling, you're looking for an extreme, well, and a lasting impression, really.
For me, that's why I've always done music and done the kinds of music that I do, is so that other people see that it's okay to do that. You don't have to play a specific way, you don't have to do a certain kind of thing to be a certain kind of thing.
Yeah, no judgment. It doesn't matter if you can hold a note or not. It doesn't matter if you can strum a chord or not. Just get up and have a bash, have a good time, sing your little fucking heart out, and see what happens.
You know, putting the power back in people's hands to just go out and live their lives and do what they want to do themselves, rather than be told what to do by society. Yeah, be free.
Be free.
Do Whiskey and Speed. Brain Dead. Yeah, all right. Well, that song was pretty much entirely me being pissed off with the audience, because without fail, like,
we'd play like such an amazing set and be like the crazy fucking characters, get up there, monkey, and clap your hands together kind of thing. And that's pretty much how I felt every time, because without fail, like people at the end of the show would be like, oh, I have no idea what you said, but you're a fucking crazy motherfucker.
Yeah, Dane's a simple-minded guy. I think he always means well, and unfortunately you can't write something from the villain's perspective without it being an issue sometimes. You know, society's not always going to understand that you're playing devil's advocate for a moment rather than exploring your own beliefs.
God damn it, like I'm actually putting time into writing some shit to try to like make people think about it before, you know, after the show they go home and hopefully think about it, but without fail, like no one fucking heard a thing I was saying.
To be honest, I never had many of their songs stuck with me.
But and then the Hey Mum, I'm on Drugs line was pretty much an ode to my mum, because without fail, every time I was in my room or, you know, just, you know, put myself, isolating myself, whatever, she'd bust in, you fucking doing drugs, or you're on drugs right now, aren't you? I was like, no, Ma, I'm not on drugs, actually. I might surprise you, I'm just doing Dane things.
I remember actually a moment playing a show where I was on drugs and my mum came in and I was singing a song about being on drugs and all I could think of about was, hey Mum, I'm on drugs.
And so, and I always thought it'd be hilarious to have like all these people that I'm openly called idiot just be like jumping up and down singing like, hey Mum, I'm on drugs. And just like have that videoed would be great. Just have the whole audience like, you know, telling their mums that they're on drugs on video would have been really damn funny. Whatever, but that's pretty much where I started getting really sarcastic, all these, you know, all my songwriting, I suppose.
This is Dave, everyone. We don't know who he is, but he was someone tonight.
But yeah, the destructive aspect, that's just Hurricane Dane.
Like honestly, I'm always a little surprised that not like more people haven't physically removed him from their presence.
A whole bunch of girls wanted to kick the shit out of Dane because he ruined their corsets. And...
I'd say a huge part of it's definitely Dane. Dane's, you know, he kind of, I've watched that guy, you know, kind of more believe it.
Here we go! What's in the riddle? Dave's a cat! Dave's a cat! Dave's a cat!
They can suck a dick, no.
Frizzle pop 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 pop. Frizzle pop 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 pop.
Why are we drawn to chaos? I honestly don't know if I could give you a real answer.
I think people are attracted to noise and chaos precisely because it is noise and chaos, because it's the opposite of order and, you know, boredom.
Chaos is a catharsis. It's like the ultimate release, or if you like, maybe even the ultimate high. It's just a way of getting all that pent up shit out of your system that you deal with in your everyday, day-to-day living. It's a release.
They're attracted to chaos because, I suppose at least for me, sameness and repetition and routine drives me insane. It makes me just want to, like, end my life.
I saw one of my friends and I ran at them and jumped onto them. And they were also pretty drunk, so they kind of dropped me. And so I didn't hurt myself. I put my arm out to stop me and just snapped my wrist in half.
Like that's the price you got to pay for doing the shit that we do. So yeah, you got to understand that that you know you can be reckless, you can do all these things, but you can do what you want, but your actions have consequences.
You know, we did a show at the Beetle Bar, which is now the Flaming Galah, but we did a show there. I'd broken my foot 2 days before, and so I knew I wasn't going to be able to get up and do anything. And I'm pretty sure Dane was on the drums that night, and we just brought bags and bags and bags of glitter, because that'll be funny. Because every time he hits the snare, the glitter's going to bounce, and it went fucking everywhere.
I've seen them piss people off. There was one of their last shows at their Globe. It was someone's birthday, so they decided to throw cake all over everything, which is sweet, but I guess none of them actually own a PA and have put shows on and have had to clean cake off any of their fucking microphones before, so it's actually really difficult to do.
People saying that they threw dolphin blood on the audience and fucking condoms.
People like Brian showed up and had tons of, like the receipt wax paper and threw that around like streamers. They had bags of it. We didn't bring that. It wasn't us. It just happened during our show because we're okay with it. During that show, when Mick was playing drums for us, somebody brought a whole pineapple to the show and fucking threw it at him. It wasn't trying to hurt him. They didn't hate the band. They just thought it would be funny. And it was. It was very funny because we didn't know it was going to happen. All of a sudden, there's a pineapple on the stage and it nearly killed Mick. Like, fuck. Okay, shit. And so I think it was more that we were okay with literally anything happening.
I think they would sort of think it was funnier the worse it was. And so their line is a lot further than what a lot of other people's lines are. And so one of the reasons why I think people enjoyed watching them is because they could sort of have a laugh and not be the one getting in trouble for doing the fuckhead thing.
I think the things that attract people to the kind of chaos and destruction that is so prominent in punk and with Whiskey and Speed as well is the freedom of the music, the freedom of the attitude, the freedom of the behaviour. You get to go and get wasted and no one minds.
Holy fucking shit.
It's almost shamanistic, you know what I mean? You create an energy in the room. Like Whiskey and Speed definitely did that. And like, I don't know, I've felt like that before. Like, I felt like it was like a religious experience on stage. Like, so like, yeah, it's definitely it's better than sex. It
has a certain mental health element to it as well. You know, it's not exactly pull yourself up by your bootstraps, but, you know, the opportunity as a moral agent, as a moral person to try to be better.
We've had a few friends die recently, and it sucks heaps, you know, so this next song goes out to them.
Yeah, Dane's writing style is quite abstract, the same with his artwork, actually. And so you can sort of draw your own meaning from most of his lyrics. Like, all of them are quite personal to him, and if you ask about any one particular song, he'll have a story behind it, like what it's based on and what it means and stuff like that. But he's written them all in such a way that you can just infer the meaning for yourself.
The song Sanity, something about the way that bass line works with like Dane's lyrics is just, you feel it, like I feel it like right here, because that is something that I feel like a lot of people can relate to. Like, yeah, I struggle with my sanity.
My favourite film clip was Sanity. I always really fucking liked that film clip. And it was like weird to hear Dane singing like so serious, like, and like painful, not just like being a psycho cunt. Like, I really, really, really liked that song though, because it was like really different. It was like a sort of more emotional side of Whiskey and Speed. And I jokingly said to Dane when I saw him, I'm like, hey man, if you ever need to talk, I'm here.
More apparent than any is Sanity. Like when he brought those lyrics down, and I'm there slaving away in an office every day and wanting to be doing something else and having people screaming at me in a call center and blah, 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 and drinking too much every night. When he brought those lyrics to the table, it blew my mind. I'm like, how can this bloke I've known for fucking over 10 years feel the exact same way about some of this shit as I do? And like, there's been a few instances like that, but Sanity's the first and most prominent one that comes to mind. And I don't know, it made me feel a bit better about doing the same mundane shit, because at least people can empathize with me and I can relate to people, and we can all do things to make life a bit better for us, whether it's music or anything else.
Whiskey and Speed influence on younger bands, but at the same time I don't see a whole lot of young bands.
Concrete Lips and stuff like that, they were fully inspired by Whiskey and Speed and stuff, as well as all these other bands which are now starting to pop up.
They kind of just, from the start, were just doing their own thing. And I think that's been really influential on a lot of people who go out and see their shows and kind of realize, like, you can do stupid shit on stage. You can do...
For that influence from, like, Dane and John from John Experiment and shit, like, in my very, like, early formative years, I wouldn't, like, have certain attributes to, like, my performance and shit. So, like, definitely, like, as a performer, like, they've had heaps of influence on me.
He just goes completely into the moment when he's performing, and I think that's something that every artist should inspire towards, like to just be in the moment. You're up there and just, you know, whatever comes to mind, you just like, when you're just feeling music, you just have to go with it, like roll with the punches and just see what happens and like entertain, you know?
They were just so supportive as another band or as friends or just as, you know, as we later found out, you know, fans when we were all sitting at school, like, listening to the new Dumb Idea on the computers, and we're just like, we're hanging out with this band, and all the other kids at school are like, I don't care, I don't care, I don't care.
Since we were all 16 and we were like looked up to these guys, like they're the fucking cool dudes that we aspire to be. And then we get to that age and we're like, these guys are fucking losers. These guys are fucking losers. I don't want to be like, I want to get my life together.
Do you think that they'll be remembered in Brisbane after they break up?
Yeah. I don't know if it'll be positive or negative, but
I mean, I'll never stop listening to their records, and I think a lot of people will probably never stop listening to their records, even if they never play another show again.
That's sticking around for a while. No matter how many times we shower, we're stuck with it.
Those stains don't come out.
I'm moving to Canada. I don't have much of a plan. I'm landed in Vancouver, buying a camper van, and
go out and get in people's faces and be wild and explore music. Don't like stick to one thing the whole way through. That's dull.
Don't fucking eat Tide Pods. Let them fucking eat them.
And then you hurl the cat into a crowd of people, fucking stomp on some guitars with distortion and shit, fucking knock out your neighbor, fucking have relations with a family member. That's Whiskey and Speed.
They'll still be talking about it. Sometimes for years afterwards, they'll be talking about it.
Listen, just a couple of thugs and we're sucking down drugs. We couldn't give two fucks what you think of us. And we're drinking your beer, we're a little bit queer, so you better sit clear. Whiskey and Speed is here. We're just a couple of thugs and we're sucking down drugs. We couldn't give two fucks what you think of us. And we're drinking your beer,
Yo.
I have to call him daddy all night, so...
Professional, completely professional, whoa. What completely professional? Whoa, completely professional. So completely professional. Yeah, the doll, and we're sold out souls. We're taking rock and roll. So we're serious, someone else will roll the doll, and we're sold out souls. Taking rock and roll. So we're serious.
What I was talking to him about after that, but just got into a conversation, but it was just, on my part, I was so young. So young and naive.
Yeah, the stupid fear was have no idea what you're about to hear. Drinking your beer a little bit queer, so you better severe whiskey speed is here. We're completely professional, completely professional, completely professional. Whoa, we're completely professional, we're completely professional, we're completely professional. Whoa, we're completely professional, so completely professional. Yeah. Yeah, we're taking rock and roll to a serious level. We're taking rock and roll to a serious level. We're taking rock and roll to a serious level. We're taking rock and roll to a serious level. We're taking rock and roll to a serious level. We're taking rock and roll to a serious level. We're taking rock and roll to a serious level. What you know?